Hello and welcome to Switch Scheme. Today we got a review for Super Mario Wonder. Up front, Super Mario Wonder is a wonderful addition to the Mario legacy, and it fits right in as one of the best forays through the Mushroom Kingdom. Wonder has an undeniable charm that if you've ever played Super Mario World or Super Mario 3 back in the day, in the late 80s, early 90s, you're gonna just melt back into the inner child that you were when you're sitting a foot away from the TV every chance you got so you could transport yourself back into the wonderful world of Mario. And that is precisely how I felt playing Mario Wonder. Thankfully, I was able to get my copy early in the morning today thanks to Amazon pre-order, not a sponsor, but I have been playing it nonstop ever since, and it has completely stolen me away from all my other projects. The graphics are gorgeous. They're balanced very well with cute 3D models in a 2D space, and it's colorful and vibrant, and all the characters and creatures really fit into the aesthetic. I didn't run into any graphical hiccups, which I guess is pretty much standard for any first-party Nintendo game, as they've really honed in on the Switch's aging capabilities. Honestly, for a Mario game, there's not much more to say. It's graphically perfect, and it's cute. And it's a game like this that makes you wonder how we got those trees in Pokemon. When we look at the sound, as with the graphics, since it's Mario, it's all sounds we've heard before. Mario woohoos and yahoos his way through the levels with springy jumps and spurtin' fire flowers. Now, there is a new jump effect, which is fine and definitely not a negative, but any hardcore fan of Mario is going to notice it right away, and it may throw them off for a second, and I've even seen a Reddit post dedicated to the new sound effect and whether or not the fans like it. Now, the music is okay. I'll admit, the Mario music, although iconic, has never been something that I would just put on in the background while cleaning my house, and the same goes here. That isn't to say that when a classic song such as the original score or one of the theme songs from Super Mario World comes on, I don't find myself humming along, but the music here is kind of just average, I would say, and the reason I feel confident in that assessment is there's a section where it plays a song from Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo, and I instantly found myself happy and smiling and having fun because I just remembered those days back when I was a kid. But after I was done playing, I didn't find myself humming any of the new songs here, which means unfortunately they just didn't stand out to me. On the gameplay front, it's a 2D Mario game. You run from one side to the other trying to collect coins and collectibles such as seeds to progress. You collect currency in the game to buy power-ups in a shop and make your way to the end to fight Bowser. It's standard fare. Now, while running through the levels, you'll find Wonder Seeds, which has been all over the marketing. And it's either just going to be sitting there, or you'll have to chase a rascally skedaddler who's trying to run away with it. And it's moments like these that absolutely change the game because of the unique effects that each one has. In one, it'll start raining power-ups that are stars, so it looks like shooting stars streaking across the sky, and as you're jumping up to collect them and barreling through all the enemies, you're just having a lot of fun. Another Wonder effect, which was from one of the early levels, so it's not much of a spoiler, is actually one of my top 3 effects, where all the piranha plants on the level just started breaking out into chorus and singing. I legitimately started smiling. It just made me feel like a child again, and that's what the heart needs sometimes. The only thing I will say about the gameplay that I know will be controversial, I didn't particularly like the design of Elephant Mario. Now I know he's the poster boy, kind of like the Tanuki Mario was for 3, but for me, I'm just indifferent to it. I know it has a huge fan base because he's so huggable, and elephants are admittedly kind of cool and cute, but it's just a personal thing. I was kind of apathetic towards it. Neither a positive nor a negative. Another new gameplay feature, which is actually pretty cool here, is the badge system. You can carry one badge and it adds a unique ability to your character, such as a grappling vine so you can attach to walls, or a parachute hat which lets you jump over larger crevices. It really does change how you explore the levels and may introduce some need to go backtrack if you're trying to do collectibles. One thing I did see from my research, which doesn't apply to me here, is the ease of play with family and kids. I don't personally have kids, so I wanted to look this up specifically for the review because Mario's always been a game for the family. Now, Mario's cornerstone is couch co-op, and that's how I got introduced to gaming as a kid. A couple playable characters such as Yoshi and Nabbit are here, and they do have special abilities that make it so they don't necessarily take damage unless they fall, and that's perfect for our baby Marios, Bowsers, and Peaches who may not be ready for a full Mario game yet. And it's so much better to actually be able to play the game as a kid than being given a disconnected controller like I often was. And the reason this is so deserving of a mention is I was introduced to Mario at age 3 with my stepdad, and I know that generations of gamers are often built by playing Mario at a young age, and thankfully the offerings here will lend to that continuing growth in the gaming community. Now, the value for your dollar. With Mario games, They usually offer a lot of replay value due to their speedrun capabilities, collectibles, and challenges, and Mario Wonder is no different. As mentioned earlier with the badge system, because it changes how you traverse each level, for collectible players, that's going to change how you play. However, for everyone else, we might find it a little lacking. There's only a handful of challenge stages, and to be fair, they're great stages and fit into the game's wonder mechanics, but the number of them may disappoint some. There are no time limits in the level, so you won't ever feel rushed to complete a stage, which again, is nice, but it does take away from the usual gameplay hook of trying to beat your best time and high score. The game's overall story mode, if you will take about an average of 8 to 10 hours, which is pretty on par for games these days, and for a Mario game, it's pretty good. The only downside is once you've seen all the wonder effects of a level, that mysticism of your first playthrough is kind of gone, and that might affect some players' urge to replay the game. The online features are pretty good, and there is a neat online ghost mode where you see previous players' ghosts running through the same level, and you can compare how you play with theirs. They may jump in a spot that you didn't think to, and magically find that there was a hidden box there. And if you die, you have a chance of coming back as a ghost and can run over to one of the other ghost players and I guess absorb their soul or something, and you'll come back without having to restart the whole level. The other online feature here is the lobby system, where you and a bunch of friends can join into a lobby and you're all playing your own version of the game. However, if you happen to join the same level together, you can either do a race mode where you guys are literally just trying to see who can get to the end of the fastest, or you can explore the level together. Maybe your friend knows about a secret that you didn't know and they can help you find it, or vice versa. And that is really fun and really makes it feel like you're playing the game together. Overall, Super Mario Wonder proves one thing above all: Nintendo can still crank out unique concepts for Mario 2D platformers after 40 years. It's honestly quite amazing the level of imagination the developers had in order to bring the world to life and to make sure it stood out among its predecessors. Veterans of the genre may find the game a bit too light on the challenge, and the music isn't the series' best in my opinion, but the new gameplay features and wonder seeds and badges make the gameplay so much fun. And you know, that's a word that I've seen myself say a lot while I was writing this review. Fun. And I think that sums up Super Mario Wonder perfectly. This game is fun.